Good day, grades and students. Welcome to English class. I am teacher Arnold, always ready to learn and to give you learning. Today we'll be discussing about the types of literary device. So now I want you to remember all the types of literary devices still remember. Literary devices are various elements and techniques used in writing that construct the whole of your literature to create an intended perception of the writing for the reader. In your previous studies, you have probably learned about simile, metaphor, and personification, and other more. While these are the common types of literary device, there are more literary devices you can use to make your writing more creative, meaningful, and powerful in comparison to others. Using these literary devices can make your writing stronger, better, and effective. There are hundreds of literary devices. In this module, you will learn the most common but useful literary devices that writers often use in their literary works, in which you can also use to enhance and improve your writing techniques. You don't need to use all of the literary devices to become good writers. Knowing what is available for you and using it strategically can help your writing become stronger, thereby captivating your readers more. By the authors to express their ideas and enhance their writings. The following are some of the types of literary devices. First is allegory. Allegory is a figure of speech where abstract ideas are described using characters, events, and other elements. Say for example, one of the most famous works using allegory is George Orwell's Animal Farm. The perceived story is about a group of farm animals who rise up and defeat humans, but the underlying story is about the Russian Revolution. That is allegory. Then we have allusion. It is a literary device that references a person, place, thing, or event in the real world. Example, my sister is a real Scrooge when it comes to gift giving. The reference is to Ebenezer Scrooge in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Then the third one, we have alliteration. It is a literary device that uses the same letters or sounds at the beginning of words in a sentence or title. So for example, the Wicked Witch of the West went on her own way. The W sound is repeated throughout the sentence, and that is an example of alliteration. We have number 4, the colloquialism. It refers to expressions, words, and phrases used in informal, everyday speech, including slang. Example, gone. It is a combination of going, to be blue, to be sad. Then we also have number 5 is the diction. It is a literary device that refers to the choice of words or style used by the writer to convey their message. Example, I remember her hair in particular because it was on flick. That is diction, a choice of words or your style. Number 6, euphemism is a mild or indirect word of expression substitute for one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing. So for example, gone to heaven. This is a polite way to say that someone is dead. Number 7 is flashbacks. In literature, occurs when the narrator goes back in time for a specific scene or chapter to give more context to the story. Example, a woman is about to get married. As she puts on her veil, she remembers her fiancé 3 years before, swearing he would make her with his wife someday. A tear comes to her eye and she prepares to walk down the aisle. So it is like a lyric of a song, Beautiful in White. That is flashbacking. Then we also have foreshadowing. It happens when the author places elements within the writing that gives clues about what will happen in the story's future. So example, the leaves fell early that year. This is a line in Ernest Hemingway opening line of A Farewell to Arms that foreshadows an early death. The leaves fell early that year. And number 9, imagery refers to using visually descriptive or figurative language in your writing. It is more likely showing versus telling in writing where you use more sensory language versus blunt or plain words. Example, the sunset was stunning as ever. The clouds were edged with pink and gold. That is imagery. Then we also have juxtaposition, means placing contrasting elements next to one another to emphasize one or both, including words, scenes, and themes. Example, you will soon be asked to do great violence in The Cause of Good. The Yellow Birds by Kevin Powers. That is juxtaposition. 11 is we have metaphor, compares two things that are not alike and replaces the word with another word. Example, he was a statue waiting for the new. Metaphor. Then we have onomatopoeia. Is a word or a phrase that shows you the sound something makes. Since we can't hear books, the literary device is base used to paint a clear picture and including the sense of hearing in your writing. So for example, lightning crackles and thunders rumbles. Another example is the rat-tat of the machine gun is very loud. That is onomatopoeia. Then lastly, we have personification. It is a literary device where you give human-like qualities to non-human elements. Example, the newspaper headline glared at me. So that is personification. Then we also have simile. Makes comparisons between two things that are not alike. And this replaces the word with another word but uses like or as within it. So for example, he ran like a cat lightly and quietly. That is simile. Then we also have symbolism. It is a literary device that uses symbols, may it be words, people, marks, locations, or abstract ideas to represent something beyond the literal meaning. Example, the color red can symbolize death, struggle, power, and passion. That is symbolism. Then lastly we have the tone is something that conveys the narrator's opinion, attitude, or feelings about what is written. Some examples of literary tone are airy, comic, condescending, facetious, funny, heavy, intimate, ironic, light, playful, sad, serious, sinister, solemn, sober, and frightening. So that ends our topic for today. Once again, this is Teacher Arnold. I'll be saying the world is a big classroom for you to learn. Therefore, don't stop learning because learning is everywhere. Thank you and goodbye.